YouTube, Facebook. Let's see if we can see if Instagram works today. Is it going to go live on Instagram? There we go. Yes, we're live on Instagram. Apologies if we didn't catch you on Instagram on Wednesday. There was a technical problem, but we're live on Instagram today, which is good. We're going to do a seated practice, basically because I'm in a hotel room and got no room to move around. So stay seated. Find yourself a comfortable position. We're just going to do a little bit of work into the shoulders. So we're going to do shoulder circles, lifting up, rolling back. And remember, if there's any pain, you stop. So it's just very gentle rolling of the shoulders. It helps if you're seated. So you're sitting tall on your sits bones, but then you can actually roll the pelvis a little bit with this one. So you can tuck the pelvis under and then you can tilt the pelvis forward. So we're not just doing a shoulder, so you're getting the whole spine involved. Tom's got his Christmas tree up. Yay! Breathing easy. Breathe with the movement if that feels comfortable. Breathing in. We're just doing a sitting practice today. You can, of course, do this standing if you want to do it standing. Let's change direction. I've just got my hands just resting on my lap, but you could have them drop by the side, whatever feels comfortable. Remember getting that spine involved as well. Breathing easy in and out through the nose. And then give them a bit of a shake, shaking your shoulders, shaking up the wrists. Maybe do a slightly fuller breath, maybe do a cleansing and clearing breath, breathing in and letting go. Really expanding the rib cage, expanding the lungs. Breathing in, holding maybe a little bit at the top and letting go. And letting go. It's always good just to do some of those bigger breaths. Just sit for a moment, particularly in the morning, if you're just waking up, just to create that, get that rib cage expanded. We're not breathing like that all day long. We know we should, when we're breathing functionally, we are breathing to our metabolic needs. We breathe just the right volume of air that we need for what we're doing at that moment in time. So if you're sitting quiet now, don't need huge volumes of air, but we're just doing some exercise. We're just expanding the lungs, opening the rib cage, stretching all the fascia and the tissue and the diaphragm out. So if we never do that, everything can get a little bit tight. So just let the breath settle. We're going to stay with the shoulders and the spine. So you're going to bring your fingers together like that. Find that space that you've got just under your collarbone there. And we'll do big elbow circles, again using the spine. And breathing in, breathing out. So I'm rocking forwards and backwards a little bit on the chair as well. So use the whole body. Don't just isolate necessarily the shoulders. And let's change direction. And then alternate. Here you're bringing in that rotation through the spine as well. Lifting the elbow, keeping the shoulder down. Feeling that stretch here. And then we're going in the other direction. Breathing. And take a rest, have a little bit of shake again. Just sit for a moment, just resting your hands on your lap, or if you're standing, just resting by the side. Feel how the shoulders feel. Nice long spine, long neck. Letting the breath calm, soften. Let's do a little bit of work on the neck. Now remember, this is not about forcing, it is not about straining, it's doing stuff slowly, calmly, breathing through the movements, resting the hand on top of the head, and then lengthening the spine up, dropping the hand on the crown, taking the ear very slowly to shoulder. So we're not pulling it, because otherwise if we pull, everything just tightens up. So we're encouraging this area here, this muscle here, all down the back, to lengthen. And we're breathing. Breathing, 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 breathing. So encouraging this area to lengthen out. Maybe on a soft exhale, you let go a little bit more. Again, really do not think of pulling or forcing or stretching, because then everything just tightens up. And then slowly come back to balance the head on top of the spine. Take a moment. Other side. I go a couple of inches above, so it helps you lengthen the spine up. If you're sitting on a solid surface, you can almost like tilt the pelvis and everything lifts up. And then ear to shoulder. Lengthen, 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 lengthen. Breathing. Breathing. Breathing, breathing, breathing. And then slowly back to balance. We're going to do the same again. This time, let me talk you through it first before we do it. This time we're going to get to the, I'll go that way again. So we go to the opposite side. When we get to that position where you feel you're lengthening, I want you to imagine that you are aiming, you're just trying to bring your head back on top of the spine, but your hand is just holding it there. So actually what you're aiming to do is to shorten this muscle under load. So, or contract under load. If you did Wednesday, think what we did on Wednesday, where we were doing some isometric contractions, holding a position where we're loading the body in a specific position, but we're breathing with it. So what you could be tempted to do is go, just hold everything, but we're engaging is most probably a better word, engaging that muscle, but breathing. So we're working on strengthening the neck, keeping the nervous system calm, telling the brain everything's good. So let's start off by sitting tall. If anybody gets any pain, you stop. Lengthen up first, and then ear to shoulder slowly. Get to the point where you feel it's lengthening. And then a little bit of engagement. So you're aiming to bring your head back on top of the spine, but your hand is just resisting that, and we're breathing. Breathing, 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 breathing. In and out through the nose. Calm breathing. That calm breathing is sending safety signal to the brain. Everything's good. Everything's good. Calm, easy, soft breathing. And then slowly bring the head back to balance on top of the spine. Sit tall. Opposite side. Lengthen up first. Remember, always lengthen up first. And then ear to shoulder first. Slowly. When you get to that position where you feel you're lengthening, encouraging that area here to lengthen, maybe down into the shoulders as well, then you can engage that muscle a little bit, bringing the head back on top of the spine, but breathing. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Good, nice, easy breathing, and then slowly balance the head back. Sit tall. If you feel you need to give the shoulders another little roll, if you feel you need to do a little bit of a dog wags the tail, it's quite nice. And then just sit tall. Let's do a little bit with the rib cage now. So I'm just going to shift this back. Hopefully you can see I'm going on lower ribs here. I'll just stay seated down. So we're going to go lengthen the spine, ear to shoulder. So we're just going to go to the bit where we're encouraging the length there, and then you're going to take the opposite rib and slide across. And then keeping the head facing forward, you're just going to do opposite corner with the eyes. So you're just looking I'm not moving the head, I'm just moving the eyes into the opposite corner. Breathing. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Couple more breaths. And then bring that back to balance on top. Take a moment. Opposite side, tall through the spine. Balance, slowly, 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 slowly. No pushing, no forcing. Ear to shoulder. Opposite rib. Slide across. Oh, this is so different this side. And then eyes, opposite corner. Breathing easy. We're doing this slowly and calmly because if we do it fast or aggressively, then we overwhelm the nervous system, we overwhelm the musculoskeletal system, and everything just tightens. And if you do it slowly, if there's any pain, you know where you can just stop. And if we can keep breathing calmly in and out through the nose, we know everything is safe. And then very slowly bring the head back to balance on top of the spine. And maybe again a little bit of dog wags the tail. If you're sitting doing dog wags the tail, it's good because you just shift. As long as you're on a steady chair, you're just shifting your weight on your sits bones side to side. If you're on a wobbly chair, don't fall off the chair. And then slow it down. Sit tall. We'll just do a little bit of flow with the arms. So we'll do soaring crane. So if you've got room, how can I do soaring crane? I haven't got room side to side now. I'll do, you know the movement. So we breathe in. Sorry, we bring the arms up to the front like that. And then we breathe in. Elbows soft, rotate the palms. If I come to the side, you can see I'm rotating that palm. I'm interlocking thumb and finger, and I'm coming back to center. And then I'm breathing in and breathing out. And again, using the spine. Feel the spine extend or open, chest open. Shoulders relaxed. And as we're doing this, I want us just to bring that focus to the breath and just focus on the inhale for a moment. So really soft inhale. You will find your own rhythm, so you might be going a little bit slower or a little bit faster than me. Soft inhale. Remember, it's not a stretch, so we don't have to go right to the edge. We're not pulling or forcing. Soft inhale. Focus on the exhale now. Let's think of just gently lengthening the exhale, slowly lengthening the out breath. Slowly lengthening the out breath. If your arms and shoulders are aching a little bit, you can come a little bit lower down. And let's just focus on the smooth transitions as you change from inhale to exhale and exhale to inhale. So smooth transitions, easing in, easing out. And let's do 2 more. And then take a rest. Again, if you need to shake out the shoulders, shake out your arms. Just letting the breath settle. And now we'll play with those focuses again, just as we're sitting now. So just sitting in stillness and tall through the spine. So think of all the work we've just done on the spine and the shoulders. So a nice tall spine. Softening and relaxing into the face. So soften into the brow. Soften around the eyes. Soften into the jaw. Resting the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And noticing the air as it flows in and out through the nose. So not changing anything. And with each breath in, just think of softening the inhale. Soften that inhale. Soften that breath in. Each breath in. Soften the inhale. Soft inhale. You'll find you're settling into a natural rhythm. Soften into the whole face on the inhale. So soften into the brow, soften into the eyes, soften into the jaw. Soften into the chest, soften into the belly. Bring the focus now to the exhale, the out breath, and just lengthen, extend that out breath just a little. So it still feels comfortable, but just lengthening that exhale slightly. Lengthening the exhale. And then noticing the change of direction of the breath. So let's smooth out the transition at the top of the inhale and smooth out the change of direction at the bottom of the exhale. Easing in, easing out. Follow 3 more breaths at your own pace. And then take a full breath in, expand, have a stretch, have a twist, have a shake out. Let's do a cleansing and clearing breath, breathing in, nice full breath in, and let go. Excellent. It's quite nice just to do a seated practice again. Those focuses are really good. Even if you've just got a couple of minutes, it just helps to slow the breath without you just thinking, I'm just going to slow the breath. Think of soft inhale and then get into the rhythm with that soft inhale. You can soften, particularly in the face. I often find that if I'm breathing in, you can tighten the jaw a little bit, even a little bit. So just think of soft, 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 soft chest, soft belly, soft as in light breath in, and then extending the exhale. Just focus on that for a few breaths. Not to the point where you start to feel, oh, I'm running out of air or I'm getting any air hunger, but just go comfortably extending the exhale and then smoothing out the edges, smoothing out the top, that change of direction, the inhale, smoothing out the exhale. So it's a nice little focus, even if you just do it for a couple of minutes. Brilliant. We'll be back to our normal space, hopefully on Wednesday. So I will see you then when we will do a little bit more of the isometric stuff and some more of the movement and the squats, etc. Thanks as always for joining this session. I will see you Wednesday. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye.